So let us pay tribute to Marcia Lisa, and in our shared sense of loss, let us find comfort in recognizing the value of her life. She was born in London in 1978. As a baby, she became the first adopted child of Rose Jackson. Marcia grew up with her two younger sisters, Kelly and Louise, and her brother Nathan in East London. She remained in touch with her birth mother, Susan, and her blood siblings. Marcia attended Our Lady's Convent High School, which she enjoyed. She had a good education and was a bright and intelligent girl. She liked English and literature in particular, and remained an avid reader all her life. She always had a book on the go, and she would devour a book in a couple of days. She took drama lessons and was very keen on ballet and ice skating and gymnastics. When Marcia left school, she found good employment as a receptionist for a central heating company. All her life, she was a people person, good with people, and so the reception job suited her well. And then later she found steady work at a local nursery, and she enjoyed being around children and had a close bond with the children in her care. We're now going to hear two tributes with readings from people who have known Marcia since she was a baby, and they will tell us about her early years. We're going to start with Barbara, who is a friend of the family. Barbara.
If I was to have a child, and I could have a choice, I would choose Marcia, because as a baby, she was a lovely, happy, friendly, kind little girl. She was especially kind to these two children, and kind to me. She was always smiling. She was really a joy to be with. Now I'd like to read this. Don't weep for me. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond that glints on the snow. I am the ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awake in the morning hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circle flight. I am the stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry, because I am not there, I'm not dead. And that's what I really believe, that we don't die, we just go to a better place. And I'm better off now for knowing Marcia and her two sisters and Rose. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Barbara. And now, Anna, would you like to come and say?
Yes, I'd just like to echo what Barbara has said. As a child, Marcia was very fragile, very beautiful young girl. She was a happy child. And as I look around here, I think perhaps this is a fitting place for Marcia, because Marcia grew up surrounded by flowers. Wherever her mother Rose lived, Rose created gardens. So Marcia grew up loving flowers. She was particularly fond of my son, Anthony. She would follow Anthony around. I remember Marcia following Anthony wherever he went. He actually got her into trouble at times, because whatever Anthony did, Marcia did. I remember one occasion we were staying at Aunt Rose's house, and Anthony climbed up the tree and started shaking down all the green apples. There was Marcia at the bottom picking them up. Of course, Aunt Rose and I ran around the garden trying to stop them, but you couldn't help but love Marcia. One of my fondest pictures of Marcia is of she's sitting at the table and Anthony shoving food down her mouth. She was so... Marcia was baptized. She made her first Holy Communion. She made her confirmation, and she went to Catholic school. I've spoken with Kevin, and Kevin tells me that Marcia changed, and that I accept and acknowledge, that people change as they grow up. However, funerals are also for the living, not just for the dead. And I asked Kevin if he would mind if I said a psalm, and Kevin agreed that I can say a psalm for Marcia. I don't think Marcia would mind that we remember her in this way as well. I've chosen Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest the table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I'll dwell in the house of the Lord. Rosemary said we don't measure someone's life by the length of the life, and I agree with that. Marcia had a short life, but Marcia has left 2 beautiful children. Kevin, they have a grandmother, they have 2 grandmothers. Rose needs to have a part of those children's life, and I'm sure you will allow that and continue that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anna. I think it was important that all of that was said. So thank you very much. And it was nice to bring sides together. So we will now go on with our tribute to the next phase of Marcia's life, which began when she was 21 and she and Kevin met each other. They were soon very happy together, and just over a year later, on the 9th of November 2001, Marcia and Kevin were married. The following year, they were over the moon when they found that Marcia was pregnant, and when Ian arrived, she was so happy. Her second beloved little boy, Dylan, arrived 4 years later to give Ian a baby brother. The family outgrew their home and moved to a larger flat in West London. Kevin and Marcia enjoyed good times together and many a laugh. Marcia loved the outdoors. As Anna has said, she grew up with gardens and flowers, and so the outdoors mattered to her a lot. But she always said that there were 3 things that she drew the line at: rain, slugs, and camping. So despite this, they decided to try a camping trip to Devon when Ian was a little boy. And off they went. It was all going well. They pitched the tent successfully, sorted everything nicely, and settled down for the night, feeling very pleased with themselves. And they slept so soundly that unfortunately they didn't hear the rain in the night. And when they woke, the water was ankle deep inside the tent, and worse, there were several huge slugs crawling up the inside of the tent. So there was much screaming and commotion, and they abandoned the tent and all their gear, got straight in the car and drove straight back home. They had a good laugh about it, but they never went camping again.